Hey guys, good to see you again here for our yet another big project lesson. So today the plan is to talk a little bit about the life zones, to talk a bit about some of the plants that live in these life zones, and to start practicing drawing on our Chromebooks. So the first thing I want to do is give you a little life zone quiz. So here are the Sandia Mountains. And remember, we have 4 life zones here in the Sandia Mountains. So let's take a look at this top life zone here. Does anyone remember what this top life zone is called? Think about it. Think about it. Do you remember? It's called the spruce fir life zone because spruce trees and fir trees and lots of other things are in this life zone. How about the second life zone? Don't say it yet. Don't yell it out. Just think about it. Think about it. I'll tell you when you can yell it out. What is the name of this next life zone, the second highest life zone on the mountain? It is the mixed conifer life zone. Conifer meaning pine tree. This is a life zone where there's a lot of different kinds of pine trees that live in it. So it's the mixed conifer life zone. Okay, don't say the name of the next one yet. Just think about it. What could it be? What could it be? It's named after just one kind of tree. It is the ponderosa pine life zone, named after the ponderosa pine that lives there. And how about the bottom life zone? Don't say it yet. Just think about it. Think about it. What could it be? What is the name of this bottommost life zone? Okay, yell it out. What do you think it is? Yes, it is the pinon juniper life zone, named after pinon trees and juniper trees, which when you're driving around in Mexico and you look at the hills and they look like they're covered in little dots of trees, this very famous look of New Mexico hills, those are pinons and junipers. All right, so those are the 4 life zones. Each time we have another lesson, I'm going to give you this life zone quiz because we want to learn this stuff. All right, well, another thing I want to do today is I want to teach you one plant that lives in each of these life zones. And each time we have another lesson, we're going to learn a few more plants so that by the end of our big project, you'll know several important plants that live in each life zone. So let's start up here at the, what is it? The spruce fir life zone. And the plant I want to tell you about in the spruce fir life zone is one of my favorite plants in the whole world, the aspen tree. The aspen tree is notable because of its white bark and its light green leaves that shimmer nicely when the breeze blows through them. Because the stem of the leaf, where it meets the where the stem meets the leaf, it meets it a little off center. It's not quite in the center of the leaf, so the wind makes the leaf wobble in this really cool way. They don't just blow back and forth; they wobble, and it makes the tree look really pretty when it's windy outside. So aspen trees are our spruce fir tree for today. And at the next lesson, I'll be asking you what lives in the spruce fir zone. And you can't just say spruce and fir. You've got to say aspen also. All right. And for the mixed conifer life zone, I'm actually not going to pick a conifer. Remember, conifer means some kind of tree with needles instead of leaves. But I'm going to tell you about another important well-known plant that lives in the mixed conifer life zone, the gamble oak. The gamble oak is not a conifer, it's a deciduous tree, so it drops its leaves in the fall. In fact, it turns a really beautiful red or orange in the fall before it drops its leaves. And the gamble oak is not too tall. Most of them, many of them will be smaller than a grown-up person, and some of them will be only a little bit taller. Every once in a while you get some gamble oaks grow in these nice groves that get pretty tall. But they're not too big of a tree. But they are a nice looking tree, and they have these really cool leaves. These leaves with these scalloped edges kind of curving in and out, in and out. It's a really cool leaf, which makes it an easy tree to recognize. Okay, now we're going down into the next life zone, the ponderosa pine life zone. And the plant we're going to talk about is the ponderosa pine, which is the most important plant in this life zone, big ponderosa pine trees. They're very recognizable because they're big, beautiful trees. Their bark is a bit reddish, and if you get really close to it, it smells like vanilla. Some people think it smells like butterscotch, But on a nice warm day, you get close to a ponderosa pine, you can, and you smell the bark. It smells like vanilla or butterscotch. Sometimes the smell is so strong you can just be walking past them and you're like, whoa, I smell vanilla. This forest smells really good. So they're a really cool tree because of the vanilla smell. And now we're going down to the bottommost life zone, the pinon juniper life zone, and we're going to talk about one of them, the pinon. The pinon tree is a conifer. It's got needles. It doesn't grow way up high in the cool life zones. It likes it warm. It likes it dry. So it likes to live down near the bottom of the mountain. And the pinon is best known in New Mexico because its pine cones produce a nut on the inside that's quite a tasty nut. And when it's the right season, lots of people in New Mexico go out into the pinon juniper life zone and collect pinon nuts and take them home and roast them for their own family and sometimes to sell them. You might notice people with their truck by the side of the road and a big old sign saying pinon, and you can stop by there and buy pinon nuts from them, pinon nuts from them. And they're also used in restaurants. You can get them on pizza. They're really good on pizza. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. Pizza, add pinon nuts. Dion's has it. All right, so we've got our 4 life zones and 4 things that live in those life zones. And each week we'll be talking about more things that live in these different life zones. But now what we're going to do is I'm going to take you on a little tour of SeeSaw and show you the drawing tools that are in SeeSaw. And then for the rest of today, we will just be practicing drawing on SeeSaw. And this is just practice. These are not the drawings we're going to use for the big project. We just want to get used to drawing on SeeSaw, so when it's time to do the drawings for the big project, you're not trying to learn how to use SeeSaw. You know how to use SeeSaw. You know how to use the drawing. And so you can just really focus on making great art and not focus on learning how to use it. And also so you know what the rules are, so you don't do something for the big project that we can't use. So I'm going to show you how to use SeeSaw and what not to do in SeeSaw. And then you'll get some time to practice in SeeSaw.
Okay, so here we are in the SeeSaw program, and if you want to do a drawing on SeeSaw, you go up here to the green circle with a plus sign on it, and you click on that, and you click on the pencil, and you click on drawing. And here is the drawing screen, and there's a couple of things on here I want to tell you about, so let's go over here on drawing screen. This big capital T lets you type words on your drawing. Don't use it. Anything with words on it we can't use. So for the drawings you're doing for the big project, don't put text on them. Don't put your name on them. Don't put any words on them like Ponderosa Pine or Life Zone or anything, because we just want our art to be pictures, and if there's words on it, we can't use it. This lets you record sound with it. We're not using that either. This lets you take a screenshot with the computer. We're not using that either. But down here on the 3 dots, there's several things we are going to use. The first one is shapes. This lets you draw a shape on the screen. So if you click on shapes, it offers you a whole bunch of different shapes down here. And you can click on a shape like, say, this triangle here. And then you can grab the triangle and change its size and its dimensions to make it a different size. You can grab it and turn it. You can, down here, you can change it to like an outline triangle or make it a softer triangle or a darker triangle. You can put it in front of other things or behind other things. I can show you that later. You can copy it. And this is a pretty handy one. Like if you wanted to make a whole bunch of pine trees, you could just go and you could say duplicate, which means copy. And you could copy it, and so on. So that's what you can, well, it's not very visible, is that? And you can change the color of the shape by going over here and clicking. You can click on a shape, any of them, and you can change its color that you've got on there. And then when you want to get rid of stuff, you can just go up here to the trash can and you can say, yes, I want to start over, and it'll let you start over. Okay, so there's the shapes one. Also, the next one is the background, and it lets you change the background color. We definitely do not want all of our backgrounds to be the same. We don't want all of our drawings to be on white. We want them to be on some different colors, so you could go down here and click on a background, and it'll make the whole background of your picture be a different color. And so that's another very useful one, because some of us can have our drawings on white backgrounds, but we want a variety of background colors. Many different kinds, because they'll look better that way. So feel free to change the background. Feel free to put shapes on there. Now, today, you don't have to draw trees and stuff. You just draw whatever you want. But we're just practicing drawing. So you can draw anything you like today. Today's the day just for getting used to it. Okay, down here, the pencil lets you draw pencil lines. Thin, nice pencil lines on there. You can change the size of the pencil line. I'm trying to remember how. I don't remember how to do it. Where is that feature? I don't remember. Maybe you can't. Oh, if I remember later. But you can change the size of your pencil line. You can change the color of your pencil line. And make nice skinny lines on there with the pencil. All right. So that's a possibility, is making, let me put another background in here, taking this and go to the pencil, put a pencil line on there. There we go. And then down here, this is a little bit different. It's a little thicker. I feel like I should be able to change the sizes of these, but I can't remember how. But if you remember how, cool. And again, you can change the color of them. This one is really cool, this marker with the flat top on it, because it's a little bit see-through. See how you can see the other lines through it. The other ones, like the pencil one here, when you draw with that, it just draws over, right? You can't see the other lines through it. But with this middle one, you can actually see through it to the other lines. And if you stop in the middle and start again, it will double up on itself. Do you see how it's doing that? Let me show you that without. Start over here. Put another background on. We'll do a dark one, because it looks good on dark. So if you're using this marker here, and I start drawing with like this green color, if I don't lift up my finger, it just smoothly merges with itself. But if I start over again, now where they meet, it gets a little darker. Or lighter in this case, because my background is dark. And that looks kind of cool. So this does some really cool effects. This is one of my favorite pens because of the way it overlaps itself. And then this is like a color changing. Oh, no, this is the glow pen. Yeah. This one's really cool. This one, you can see there's like a little glow next to it. It looks like it's a bright, shining light on there. Yeah, and in fact, the color that you pick, it basically draws in white, and the color that you pick is the glow around it, right? So all these lines are the same color, but the glow around them is changing color. And then this is the eraser. This lets you go and erase what you've done. And it erases everything that you put it over. But erasing everything, you can just go to here and start over. So just do one more quick little thing here, and then I'll let you guys have a good time drawing here. So pick a background, pick your colors, do your drawings. The nice thing about doing your drawings on SeeSaw, like we're going to do, is that if you make a mistake, you can undo it. If you're like, I don't want a smiley face, you can go right here and get rid of it. And also, later on, when it's time to share these drawings so that I can print them, so we can hang them on the wall, we don't have to, I don't have to take drawings on paper and scan them. It's much more convenient to be able to take these drawings that you guys do and have them as computer files, and then I can just put them on my, put them on another computer easily without having to scan them, and it's a lot less work. And it also helps all of our drawings by all of us doing our drawings on SeeSaw, they all have kind of a similar look to them. All right, so that's kind of an introduction to SeeSaw, and today's a day just for you guys to play with them. When you finally get a drawing that you like, you go over here to the green check mark, and you click on the green check mark, and it will let you share your drawing. It's not going to let you choose which kid you are. It already knows which kid you are. I get to choose which kid I am. And it will share your drawing so that other people can see it, so that I'll be able to see your drawing. And that would be nice, because I'd like to see the kind of things you draw. So when you finish your drawing, click on the green check bar and share it. And and then make another one. Try different things, try using different tools, try using different backgrounds, try lots of different stuff. All right, enjoy, have fun.